Do you know what this is? You might see a contract a few pages long, but I don't. I see $500 every month of positive cash flow that's gonna just keep passively hitting my bank account. And I do this through a strategy I call lease option. It's a strategy that is twice as profitable than just doing a straight rental. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you access to this powerful information because I wanna show you how I did this 25 times that produced $12,000 a month of passive income, so I never needed to work again. So today, we're going to be answering this question right here. What is a lease option? And I remember when I bought my very first house that was going to be an investment property, I had to ask myself a question. What should I do with it? Should I just rent it out? And I had some buddies of mine that had bought several more homes than me, and they said, Kris, we're going to show you a strategy that is way more profitable for you, and it's called a lease option. After talking to them, I said, wait a second, you're telling me that as opposed to renting the property, if I get them to sign these pieces of paper, that I'm gonna make twice as much money as a straight rental? Yeah, I have to know what this lease option thing is. Check it out. A lease option is an agreement that gives a renter a choice to purchase the rented property during or at the end of the rental period. It also prohibits the owner from offering the property for sale to anybody else. So a lease option is basically a lease, right? A rental agreement with an option to purchase, or more commonly known as rent to own. So why does this concept of lease option even exist? Turns out there's a group of people out there that have tried to qualify for a home in the past and they got turned down. Maybe their credit isn't good. Maybe they just switched industries and so they moved from this type of job to that kind of job and the bank said no. When they see your sign, all of a sudden everything changes and they're curious and they want to know, wait a second, is homeownership really a possibility? Because that's really what I want, and I've been told I can't. They're gonna call that phone number, and all of a sudden, you've got an opportunity to provide a valuable service to them, give them something they really want, which is beyond a rental, and it turns out that it pays really well. Turns out there's a lot of benefits to the tenants on why they really want to do this. Here's the first one. There's no bank qualifying. Literally on my signs, it literally says rent to own, no bank qualifying, and you know what? That is super, super appealing to someone that is desperate for ownership, that doesn't just want to rent. They don't want to throw their rent money away. Also, part of the rent goes towards a payment on the house, so they can actually build equity. Literally every time they pay rent, just like when you pay your mortgage, some of that house gets paid off. And number three, it definitely creates a sense of community, permanency, because there's a lot of families that say, hey, we want to be in this area, we want to be in this school district, we actually want to lay down some roots, we want to be here for a while. That is a tremendous benefit that you have to offer them. And what this does is it actually creates a setup for what I call a triple win. There's a win for you that actually is the investor with the house. There's a win for the family that wants to buy the house. And there's also a win in the community because you're actually establishing a family with roots that wants to be in that community. Check it out. To the tenant, it's an opportunity to say, hey, when you go to buy this house next year or 2 or 3 years later, you get to rebuild your credit along the way if that was part of your glitch, or maybe you couldn't qualify for another year or two without a little bit more track record on your income with the bank. But you're also building equity. So this is something that they love. But on the other hand, you're the owner. Remember, you're the real estate investor. You buy the right house, you do this program. Why is it twice as profitable? Well, first of all, they're now giving you something the equivalent of a down payment. That down payment can literally be $3,000, $5,000, could be $10,000. And that's non-refundable. Just like when you get a mortgage with the bank, you're gonna put some money up to actually get into the deal. And then what you really get is a responsible tenant that says, hey, I don't need a property manager. This house, I'm gonna treat it like it's mine. I'm gonna take care of it. If it needs upgrades, I'm gonna do that. Mr. Landlord, you're not gonna get phone calls from me because I'm gonna treat this home as my own. And now you have, voila, win-win. Let me show you how awesome this is. I had just bought a house down the street. I was gonna do a rent to own on it. I had just gotten my signs in the yard, rent to own, no bank qualifying. Here's my phone number, went to a voicemail, and I started getting calls because I bought it on a busy street. Tip, I like busy streets. And all of a sudden, I got sick. And I wasn't gonna be able to show the house for several days. So because I wasn't feeling well, I said, well, we're gonna do an open house on Friday. Just kidding, I'm still sick, it's gonna be Saturday. Well, Monday through Friday, I got so many families interested in this house that Saturday morning, I was finally feeling better. And here's what happened. I set up an open house. I had everyone meet me 10 a.m. Saturday morning at the house, and everyone had a chance to basically learn about this whole lease option thing together. They had a chance to walk through the house, and some of the families decided to compete. They wanted this house. So they filled out a financial form, and it had this information. You've got some choices. You could put $3,000 down and your monthly payment will be $1,600 a month. You could put $5,000 down, your payment will drop. You could put $7,000 down, your payment will drop even more. And I had 2 applications from 2 great families that one of them wanted to put $3,000 down, one of them wanted to put more down. I looked at them, I evaluated which one I thought was the better candidate, and that very day we signed one of these on the dotted line. They gave me the money, they moved in, they took the keys, and from that point on, it was totally passive. It was a classic example of how 25 of these homes produced $12,000 of residual income every month for me, so that by the time I graduated college, I didn't have to get a job. Now let me give you another piece of advice that will make the difference for you. The contract that you have matters, and you need to do it right. For example, lease option contracts have several components to them, and when structured improperly, can accidentally give ownership of the home to the tenant without them exercising the option to purchase. Be sure to have an expert walk through the legality of the contracts, or be sure to work with a pro, because I'm going to tell you there's definitely contracts you don't want to use from the one that you do want to use. And I've done this so many different times that I've got everything set up. How do you market? How do you find the people? How do you make this twice as profitable as a normal rental? How do you set yourself financially free while creating great value for other people? Well, here's how you do it. Over the years, I've developed a lot of really cool programs and communities to help people become financially free that are committed to finding easier and intelligent ways to earn more money so that they can live the life that they feel God has inspired them to. And for most people, that means that you got to get better at earning the game of money, and that's what lease option is. It's a fantastic way of doing that. If you'd like to have me in your corner pocket, literally walking you through the process, teeing you up with the contracts, giving you all my systems, and showing you step by step exactly how to do this, then I want you to click the link below, and I want you to see what I'm going to do to be your mentor and walk you through this every step of the way. Click the link, put in your information, let's be in touch with each other, and let's find out if you're going to be my next student. Is this really the time to get into real estate? Listen up real carefully. I have waited 10 years for the market to soften to produce the kind of deals that I'm finding right now. Timing on this is a 100% perfect yes. And if you don't believe me, I want you to watch this video because I'm going to share with you what's going to happen in 2023 to the real estate market.